Installing Linux Air Combat from the Arch user repository. This is part 7 in our continuing series within this YouTube playlist, creating an appropriate link to LAC from Manjaro's launch menus. You may have noticed, I'm going to go to a clean desktop here, you may have noticed that from the launch menus, the installation process created a link to Linux Air Combat in the Other category. If you click on Other, it shows this link to Linux Air Combat. Unfortunately, when you click on it, it doesn't work. That link was not properly built through this initial AUR installation. So let's talk about how to do that correctly. I'm going to right-click on the launch menu and access the Edit Applications tool. Click, whereupon this frame comes up and I can scroll through the menus. I'm going to go into the Games area, and within the Games area I can see it already has one item for Steam. I'm going to click here and add another one with this plus button right here. I'm going to add a launcher. The name of the launcher can be accessed by clicking here, and I'm going to name it LAC. And here I'm going to put in a description, which is going to say Linux Air Combat. This icon represents, or this symbol represents the location for our icon. Click. From here I'm going to go to Browse Files, and we should be able to find an icon for LAC by going into the file system here. Other locations, we're going to go to Computer, click, and then we go to USR, click, and then Share, click, and there will be a folder for LAC. Right down, and they're on alphabetical order. So right here, click, and right there is our icon for Linux Air Combat in the well-known .png format. Click. That appears right here. So that'll be the picture or the icon that will represent LAC, Linux Air Combat, in our menus. The command is just simply LAC. Now I have to click on this plus sign, and then I do the save operation. Right? Oh, I've got to close this out. Invalid desktop files. I don't know what that is, but we can get rid of it. I'm going to click on this button right here to save the launcher. And then I think we're done. If I kill this off and go to the menus, we should now go to click the application menus. There should be something in Games for Linux Air Combat, and if I click it, Air Combat starts.
Server connection failed. Connection refused. Server connection failed. Connection refused.
As you can see, Linux Air Combat started up, and it also activated Mumble. Before you click on anything,
server connection failed. Connection refused.
Mumble doesn't know what to connect to. But if I do a click here, click.
Connected.
Now, LAC's menus are running as expected, and the Mumble application has been connected with our Linux Air Combat Mumble server. That's what gave you this message about connected. So now if I fly a mission, you'll see better behavior. Some more sophisticated things are happening due to communications because we've configured eSpeak and Mumble, got them installed and ready to go. So when I start a mission, you'll hear some new text. Sometimes you'll hear text from Mumble, saying, for example, connected or switch channel, things related to channels. And sometimes you'll hear text from our missions. Let's fly Peabody's mission. Listen and watch. You'll see some new things happening here.
You joined Realm 00M6 Red.
That message came from Mumble, that audio message. This beeping and irritating text tells me we haven't totally configured our community handle. There are still a few details to configure, and we'll talk about those later. But if I start the mission, you'll hear some more messages.
Welcome to Peabody's mission 06. It is bigger and more sophisticated than any other classic multiplayer mission. It requires destruction of two opposing airfields, and HQ airfields are defended by an additional artillery battery.
So that series of computer-generated robo-text was generated by this
1. You have authority to proceed. Weapons free. Mission telemetry available from Black server at blackserver2.linuxaircombat.com. Global assignment audio at Mumble. blackserver2.linuxaircombat.com. Mission comms on channel Linux Air Combat Mission Network Level 01. Squad
Status information available for the selected target.
Okay, as you can see and hear, there's a lot going on here. And you're going to want to know a lot more about training, but with this, it's in place, ready to go. You're ready to have a great experience with Linux Air Combat. So, this concludes our series of training on how to install and configure Linux Air Combat from the AUR. We hope to see you in the unfriendly skies of Linux Air Combat. That is all. I'm going to hit exit, hit escape, and exit.
Thank you for joining us. We hope to see you in the Linux Air Combat online community again soon.
You hear lots of chatter and things from eSpeak. As you can tell, this becomes a very sophisticated and powerful combination of software. Here's Mumble, and it happened that we were flying in Realm Zero's Mission 6 on the red team, and that's why our name, being New 2077, is connected to that channel. If I had selected different missions, we would be in different channels on Mumble. All of that is managed for you automatically. Let me show you where to get, again, help about Linux Air Combat. I'm going to go to a new desktop, fire up our browser. We use Firefox, for example. And I'm going to go to AskMrWizard.com. So I go here to the address bar and type in AskMrWizard.com. And from here, we'll click into Linux Air Combat. You get lots of training about Linux Air Combat from the links and things here. The best link to go to as you're beginning is this one called Training. If you click on Training, now from here you can get lots and lots of guidance about how to configure your keyboard, your mouse, your joystick, or even one of these console game controllers. There are hundreds of YouTube movies. Everything you could possibly want to know is available here. I also recommend you explore our forums. This is where you go to learn how to master Linux Air Combat. And Linux Air Combat is a rich, powerful, sophisticated simulator that will reward your study time. If you spend the time to learn it and configure it optimally, you can become a dangerous flyer, a worthy opponent, and have a great time with our community. This is not a quick, instant fly, immediate gratification video game. If you just dive in without spending a little time to learn it and configure it, you're going to get shot down. You're going to have a frustrating experience. This is not something you're going to learn in 10 or 15 minutes. But if you do spend a few days really getting into this, you're really going to love it. And I think you'll find our community is friendly and supportive. Thank you very much. That is all.